Maybe. Maybe we're prepared. We are prepared. We are preparing. We are almost gaming. We are almost gaming. Let's see. Oh, damn it. We're almost gaming. We're pretending to game. Capture, but maybe we will. Maybe we will. I'm gonna capture the game. I think we're good to go. I think we're ready to tell you a story. A story of great things. Let me make sure I'm actually live places. In my life, I could be live. I do want to be live. We're pretending to be live. I could be live somewhere. The audio is nice and crisp. Let's make sure you can hear me. And you can hear me. You can hear me as we're about to enjoy a journey together. Journey that may change your life. I don't know you. But I do know the relaxed tones of this game will assist you. Being nice, comfortable, and relaxed. Let's try this one again. Hey, let's go. Actually, the night capture on this is pretty good. What happens when you have semi-decent equipment? You start sounding and looking better. Like you actually want to be a streamer. I do need to turn this down on my end, however. Because that's some There, that's better. Because that is some powerful music. It sounds amazing. So let us enter our space of relaxation. I want you to think to yourself, silence, the quiet. I want you to think, I'm clearing my mind. I'm clearing my mind. I'm clearing my mind. I want you to forget everything that happened today. Good, bad, and different. I do have a face. This is my face. Thank you so much for coming in, Pixis. Hold on. I'm a big boy. I learned things. There you go. Yeah. There we go. Now we're gamers. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Well, there we go, see? Yeah, no problem. Thank you for always being so cool. It's a rare thing. You want to hear a story? Do you want to play a game? I know you want to play a game. I almost clicked unfollow. Imagine shouting somebody out, "You're so great, unfollow, get out of here, get out of here." No, I would never unfollow you. But this is my face. I'll turn off my camera because of certain, we'll call them activities, that may be unbecoming of a Twitch streamer. So, I like this though, just because, you know, it's a bigger screen. And I know you all enjoy it so much better. Cancelled. Exactly. I almost clicked unfollow Pixis, but I would never unfollow you. You're far too important to me, to this channel. Well, that's what this game is about. This game is all about the story, how we think, what decisions we make. I know they do. I don't know. It's kind of a thing. Do people want to watch me smoke? That's the question. I don't know if they want to watch me smoke. I mean, if this were a different channel, you know, on a different medium, that may be a thing. But to advertisers, I don't know how happy they would be. However, yes, applying that same thing to potential advertisers. I haven't hit affiliate yet, so but applying that same thing to advertisers, I don't know. I just want you to love me, internet. Love me. Love me. Anyway, let's continue on to this amazing story. To invite a dragon means to be careless. And I invite all the dragons. Live carefree, be yourself. Be amazing as who you are. Do not allow others to influence anything. You do love me? You love me? The internet loves me? Are you not proud, Papa? Papa? Papa, I have people on the internet that love me. They want to hear me talk through this marvelous internet thing, Papa. However, I don't feel amazing as well either, so I probably look like butthole sandwich. So I'll avoid camera right now in case I have to stop the stream real quick, because that would be obviously clip worthy, but that's okay, Pixis. I love anybody. That's the point of life. We should love everyone. We should enjoy each other regardless of parts, place in society. We should look beyond that. Enjoy who we are as a spirit. We should enjoy each other as the decisions we make, good, bad, and different. Marvelous. Well then, we can hold each other as we jump into this journey. Here we go. We're going to continue. We're in front of the Ape Ale Inn. I head to Ties, the mayor. Ties turns towards you with a polite smile. How can I help you, Dark Wolfie? I saw a weird tree south of here. She straightens up and raises her chin. You mean Beholder, the guardian spirit of the wetlands. Every fall we bring it our gifts, and in return it provides us with blessed fruit, the flesh of the forest. She stares into your eyes. It's older than the oldest books and the oldest thoughts. The druids help us honor its sleep and show us how to ask for its help. Neither of these rituals, she scoffs, would be of use for you. She doesn't trust me enough to give me a job. I have no news to share. Thank you for your time. I approach Eric's, the innkeeper. Do I even have money? I think at this point I had spent all the things. I am not even sure I have money. No, I think I have spent all the things. Okay, great. Thanks. I leave the square. You're wandering through the village. A woman and a young boy are sitting on a bench as she shows him how to weave a basket. An old fisher is walking nearby, pointing at a tiny, sparkling fish he's just caught. You're a basic bitch for catching nothing, fish. I'm joking, that's not funny. Well, sleep? Can I sleep? Yes, excellent. I will sleep on a mouflon pelt, but I will not get much magic in return. Like most people, you wake in the middle of almost every night. Before your second sleep comes, you spend an hour or two walking, taking care of your belongings, shell and soul. Some people spend this time with their friends, families, or lovers, but your routine is different. If you don't have to take care of essential tasks, stretch my muscles, I spend some time outside, I check on Chevalier. It's a good time to brush it, make sure. Yes, I will always check our steed. It is very important to us. It's warm here, but the mouflon skin allows you... Oh, I'm on the verge of death. Do you have a doctor? Oh dear. Ixus, we're not very vital. It's warm here, but the mouflon skin allows your back to rest a bit. That's a weird sentence. You wake up a couple of times during the night. The smell of the cooked stew fuels your hunger, and the staff returns to the room once every hour or so to stir the pot. You wake up early, but leave the building to check up on Chevalier and give it water from the creek. The innkeeper is sitting near the door, from time to time carrying out another bowl with either stool or gruel. Thighs is nowhere to be seen. Ask the guard to look for the mayor? No. The trader is not around. I sit at a table away from him. No, we're going to leave the square. I don't need to head to Bion. We're going to go travel. Where are we? Let's see. We shall travel west. The path gets greener. and meanders between treacherous precipices. You ride slowly, passing by birds and ibexes, but in the distance you spot circling harpies, and below you, a roaming mountain cat pursuing a mouflon. You take a sip from your water skin. The air here is a bit dry. Let's hope that echo of hooves won't reach any larger beasts. The path leads you down again to a small, moist valley, impenetrable for a rider. The thicket is made of thorny shrubs, tall grasses, and the weak fallen boughs that nourish mosses and mushrooms. You examine the remnants of a path covered with greenish puddles, with the roots and with a fresh layer of pebbles that may still be restored. You look behind you and the road is clear. No ambushes so far, but if you hope to clear this place, I'd better do it soon. It'll only get denser with the passage of days. I don't own any potion. Okay, well, guess we're gonna keep going. Because I don't have anywhere to go. Okay, there's the weird tree. I guess we'll just keep going. The shapes of the mountain are cutting through the horizon. The water gets gradually less muddy. The cleaner it gets... Excuse me. The cleaner it gets, the more animals you see. A family of deer blocks the road, resting and enjoying the cold water, which would be deadly for a human stomach. You consider riding around them, through the sparse meadow, but your presence also causes it to quiet. Without much haste, they regroup and run east into the leafy forest. I travel forward. What a pleasant scene. You've reached Hag Hills, the wall of stones that has blocked city's grasp. The one well-established route through them leads through the valley where you found Tullia's camp. There are no maps of the highlands, nor local tribes, only stories. The beaten path leads you by the garden beds of herbs and vegetables to an old yet not abandoned mine. Hidden behind a massive door made of steel. I look around. There's no hitching rail for a mount. A bearded, skinny elder sits on a bench, observing you like a sculpture, with his legs crossed and fingers interlocked on his abdomen. I greet him playfully. I look around. I think something has swallowed your wall, old man. Better move your veggies inside. No. Good day. Don't worry about my horse. I'll keep it away from your garden. We'll be friendly. Excuse me. Only worms too stupid to understand me would eat what's mine. You dismount and mention that your palfrey is no worm, but the man reprimands you with a thick accent. Let me see you whilst you speak. I can nae hear without magic, but I'll read your lips. He doesn't yell, but his voice reminds you of a combat instructor from the city. His face is wrinkled, but he sits straight, with a beard and hair still carrying glimpses of fair blonde. Glimpses? He's tanned like a worker, and his eyes are blue and piercing, as if they belonged to an infant. You're nae from here, and I will nae welcome a stranger in this refuge. Say what you're looking for or be gone. I explain who I am. What do you call him? Sir. He stares off across the garden beds, forcing you to wait in silence. The elder is tall, with long hair and a beard that was let loose a long time ago. His sandals are now covered in dust, and you spot dirt on his clothes and skin. The woolen tunic and linen were made with care, decorated with colorful threads at the collar and sleeves. Now all the blues and greens have faded, and the fabric is held together by patches and stitches. His hands are still folded. The voice remains firm. You do not know our customs, your name, your trade, your calling mean nothing to the forest. I do not know what you expected to find here, but this is no place for strangers. I do my best not to smirk. No. I wait for him to look at me. The man stands up and approaches your palfrey. Without touching it, he observes its eyes, manes, stomach, and rear. Chevalier ignores this examination. My nose is right then. Asterion is dead, as are his plans, such as the fate of all dreamers. He turns towards you with a grim look. Are you going to look for him? You nod. Why? If he's vanished into the fogs, there's no point in putting yourself in danger. What do you expect to find? He may need help. I need to know what kind of danger he encountered. If he's dead, I want my people to know about it. If someone tried to make him disappear, they deserve to face justice. There's no reason why, let's not be a dick. He may need my help. I need to know what kind of danger he encountered. He's observing you carefully. Do you plan to get rid of this danger or maybe learn from Asterion's mistakes? Or are you still thinking about leaving this land for good? He starts to chuckle. Only the right questions will bring you the answers. With lively steps, he heads towards the spring. He washes his hands, once again forcing you to wait. So what do you need? Have you met Asterion? He wanders among the garden beds from time to time and touching the leaves at hand. He was here more than once. He was no one to stand aside and let events play out by themselves. The villages from the north are sometimes in need of assistance, and Asterion was serving them as messenger. He bends down and tears away a small flowerless plant. He wanted to settle down among these roads, maybe live freely. He had great plans and wanted to make a realm flourish, to rebuild the ruins, get rid of the brigands, and clear the trade route. Hello, Darbu. Boo. Rules, does that make me a rebel? I can yell just like one. So maybe I'm one after all. Boo, you can be whatever rebel you want to be. Be the person you feel. Darbu, my dear friend, hello, how are you today? For this evening, I'm reading a marvelous story and doing a terrible Scottish accent. I'll start from the second paragraph. He bends down and tears away a small flowerless plant. He wanted to settle down among these roads, maybe to live freely. He had great plans and wanted to make his realm flourish, to rebuild the ruins, get rid of the brigands, and clear the trade route. I told him that the forest needs no more people, and that this realm is too wild to feed and clothe everyone. His greed and dreams have eaten him, and now he's no more. He pauses so you can hear his heavy breathing as if he's getting tired. He straightens up. And that's that, traveler. If you want to know, look for a shell, travel north, far north. People there should know where he's... I'll do that. What can you tell me about this place? Your eye sees what there's to know. People found copper in a cave. It's been abandoned for a long time now, so he turned into a shelter to stay close to the sacred tree and its altar. We're servants, my wife and I, and this place nothing more than a servant's house. Well, I'm glad to hear that, Darbu. Hopefully, your work day continues peacefully. There's a guy on YouTube who started doing fully played Let's Play of different characters in Skyrim and Fallout. Boo? Who boos me? You boo me? Oh, you all know each other? Oh. Well, hello. And thank you for coming here on your anniversary. That's very, very nice of you. I did join the Bear Claw cult. I am a very, very... Well, obviously it's not a cult. It's just a community of people who love each other very deeply and care about each other very deeply. Right, Darbu? Just like our community? Oh, okay. Okay, very cool. Well, Pixis, I thank you so much for coming on your anniversary, and I hope it was a fantastic one. Sir, I don't know his... Lord Godbon... Oh, really? It might have slightly being poisoned in the vein of Jim Jones of Jonestown. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Hold on. I will give you all shout-outs. You all deserve shout-outs. I think... Oh, well, we'll do it again. Shout-out. At Pixis. Shout-out. At Darbu. At Darbu, obviously. Wait, what? At Darbu. Oh, I can't shout myself out? How dare you, computer? How dare you? My self-promotion should know no bounds. Hey, you have a great night, Boo. Thank you so much for coming in. I'll give you a shout out as well. What? I said shout out at Darbu. Wait 53 seconds? How dare you? You have ruined me for the last time. You will do as I say. We're gonna wait this 53 seconds. We're gonna wait this 29 seconds. Oh man, you don't have to say that. I am a man with many spicy tales and have lived a life quite hard. However, obviously there's a price to pay for living an exciting life, I'll say that. There you go. Alright, and Boo, I've got you after this. I've got you next. I'll have to wait the 2 minutes. I don't know what to call him. We'll call him Sir again. You don't understand the sound of the forest, you're as deaf as these rocks. You want to build bridges, but for you, they are just structures owned and used by humans. Prove that you're ready to learn our customs, and the bridge will grow on its own. I don't know how to address you, sir. I'm sorry. I don't know if we were to go. Okay, what can you tell me about the peninsula? I've lived here for almost a century. Traveled both by the path and through the wilderness. His voice becomes stronger, makes you think of a bard. But I will nae be your guide or a teacher. And if there's anything I can wish for you, 'tis that you'll stay away from the woods. The creatures get angrier the more we take from them. They do not listen to our warnings, and in one day they'll bury us under the storm of claws and fangs. There'll be no soul to spare a tear after us. His eyes are as harsh as a hawk's, making him look like a priest who hears a child asking for honey on a day of ceremonial fasting. Do not poke the hornet's nest, do not ride east, and never use the path that runs through the heart of this land. This road was meant to save time, but brings only death. Be a servant, nay, an overseer. Do not try to bend this place to your will. Probably would be best. I probably do need to become a big boy streamer. Need to become a big boy streamer. Does the cooldown disappear with does the cooldown disappear with the stream elements? And does it still show up the same, would be my question. I think if these instructions are in line with my own thoughts, I'm not going to be anyone's puppet. I need to take some risks to achieve my goals. But this is the risk, this is the being of a Roadwarden. I need to take risks to achieve my goals. He's observing your lips. Do you need anything else? What can you tell me about the druids? He strokes his beard gently. I will nae share paths with strangers. We are of in for the people of Howler's Dell, and for the lands around it. So he's an elder druid. Interesting. How can he survive this place being No. Okay, cool. Yeah, I may need some expertise assistance. I need some big boy, girl, and juror streamers to assist me on my quest at becoming a better streamer. Hopefully I am good. But I am in no way as good as you, Pixies. And Darbu, the experts. The experts. Can you tell me anything about the altar near the crossroads to the north? He smiles. 'Tis the tree that you should pay attention to. The true gift from the forest. It answers to our offerings and rewards us with its magnificent fruits. They heal both shell and soul, and make anyone who eats them stronger than they ever were. We gather around this altar whenever the winter ends, and whilst it requires a painful sacrifice from all of us, It prepares one soul for the future like nothing else could. It seems like the path to the heart of the woods is quite dangerous. Oh wow. It has a long and dark past, and already cut many souls of its builders. It is paved with blood, and the last 10 years have revealed it was all for nothing. Since the day of them, and it's too late. Do not provoke it. Make it wary, but not scared. Look big, talk a lot. Seek its action and its size. I'm looking for a job. Garden beds. We have everything we need. Can I enter the cavern? I need a place to rest. Why would I allow a stranger to do such a thing? Let's look at my journal. Creeks, white marshes, old pagos, humans, Akikos. Orantius. Is he Orantius? Tulia. Orantius. Are you Orantius? He is not Orantius. Just FYI. Alright, well, I'm gonna keep going anyway. Cool story, bro. Cool story, bro. Cool story, bro. Where do we go from here? So we're here. The Elder's Cave. Currently here. So he's obviously the Elder. The Elder? You do not understand, blah, blah, blah. Shut your mouth. Tired and hungry, you stare into the distance, observing the smoke coming from the village. The slow minutes spent in the saddle make you dizzy. You'd love to close your eyes for a bit. You're caught by surprise when Chevalier raises his forelegs. Scared by a wildcat crossing the road, you hit the ground. With the boot still stuck in the stirrup, you get dragged for a few steps before your palfrey calms down. Once you get up, you notice a large hole in your pants. I won't lower my guard again. Never again. You ride through the open gate and then carefully dismount. Some of the locals greet you politely, but they keep their distance. Your clothes, torn and worn, make you look like a vagabond. Well, there's not much I can do about that, is there? Whatever, we're gonna look at this map. I head to the stables. Stable master shows up soon after you step away in the Chevalier. His lips are thinned. Gives you a longing glance towards the bridge. My mount needs some hay, water, and peace. He scowls at you but points at an empty bucket and steps away. I fill the trough of water from the creek and make sure Chevalier is comfortable. The druids won't agree to see me. Alright, we'll travel again. Screw you guys, I'm going home. So that's where we're at. We're in Howler's Dell. This is the dolmen, the Elder's Cave. What's here? Ooh. The corridor of leaves and gray locks leads you to a gate large enough for a wagon held together by a wooden bar. The planks and rocks are covered with claw marks left by various monsters, but they weren't able to damage the wall as much as the passage of time and piercing rains. A large man covered in shadows is observing you from the roofed tower. His voice is hoarse and distrustful. You lost? I don't know ya, mug. I introduce myself. I will, I'm good with faces. These stuff you have, that's ass. He points at your horse. You might as well scream, I'm not from here. A pause. I'm armed, you know. He lifts his loaded crossbow and sticks it out of the shadows. But I'm no enemy. Just on duty guarding. We can talk if you want, I've time. He leaves the tower wearing a black gambeson, so ragged it can't be fasted anymore. It tells a story of claws, thorns, and improvised repairs. The hole in the man's hemp pants reveals a scraped knee. It's hard to tell his age through his exhausted, sleepy eyes, a short, unkempt beard, and a bandage horizontally covering his ears and the spot that used to be his nose. Oh no. There's clotted blood in his brown hair and mud on his clothes and brown neck. Despite all this, he's of a huge shell with wide shoulders and thick legs. He stands upright, observing you with curiosity. So, a warden. You're new to the job. Pretty new. We'll play to his instincts to be the expert, as most silly humans should. You chose a shit place then. This gate here? He places his hand on a brick, as if to prove it exists. It's older than me. All there? He points behind him. Wilds and beasts. My tribe built this place to keep them away from us. And us from them. He scratches the bandage on his cheek. Name's Quintius. From old Pagos. Been there? Not yet. So you don't know. It's west from here, behind the crossroads. But it's touched by sickness. We used to send one soul here every morning and escort them back before nightfall. But some days ago, no one came for me. I spent a night here. Sneaking wolf shit's almost got me. He picks up an almost empty water skin from behind a parapet and takes a sip. I went home by myself only to learn about the sick. I've been here ever since. What do you know about the plague? Not much. It kills. And that's all there's to know. My tribe's smart locking the gate. The right gave them strength. Gee whiz, I'm so sorry. Shouldn't you look for a real shelter? About this gate. Here, see? He points at the long twisted rope that hangs from an iron hook. I could climb down and remove the beam on the other side. You'll take down yours, and you need at least 3 hours to get through the woods. He touches his stomach and takes a deep breath. But I need you to give me up first. What do you want? What do you want? I'm hungry. Bring me some rations, maybe. Dried meat, apples, nuts, maybe. He sizes you up. 6 meals. Then I'll help you with the gate. about I pay you instead? Buy whatever you like in the villages. Don't you have time to hunt? Time! But I've got to stay near the gate. I can't keep people waiting while I track deer. He touches the bandage on his face. And if I die, there'll be no keeper left. You could just forage for nuts and berries. How about I pay you instead? What do I have? I got 4. Got magical amulets, travel set, keys. I do not have enough rations. Sure, I'll bring you some food. There we go. Thanks. His smile may be disfigured by his wounds, but it's as warm as his voice. I'll take any help I can get. I'm looking for Asterion. That's nice, but he hasn't been here for many days. You sure he's not dead? After you admit he very much may be, he puts a hand on his waist. Well, better get ready to slit open every dragon belly in the wilds. Did he often travel through the woods? Sure, though on a different mount. You're a saurian, 4 ibexes long, 2 ibexes tall. It moves on 4 legs and jumps high and far. It's dark green, like rotting leaves. That one time I was taking a piss in the shrubs, and Asterion made the beast run up a rock face, and it jumped on that. He points at the hill, and like they ran above the wall and landed on the other side just like that. He snaps his fingers, and his voice and eyes gain a new vigor. You say the saurian was large and green. I mean, not everywhere. He points at his eyebrows. He has red scales here and on the tail and shoulders. I don't know what to call it. You ask him for a bit about Asterion, but he has little to add. There used to be 6 of us keepers. I saw him every now and then, but not that often. What could you tell me about the road behind the gate? Oh, not much. His chuckle turns into a cough. It leads through lowlands, mostly woods and some ponds. It's dark and lethal. He mentions tales of ghosts, dragons, fogs, and blood mages. But whenever you ask about any creature in particular, his response is vague and brief. The tribes abandoned this path. Ever since the war, the trade here has been slow. People refuse to patrol it. The plants are getting taller, but for at least a few more seasons, it's still a shortcut. It's good that you have a mount. If aught chases you, always stay close to the pass and ride as fast as you can. If no one else uses this road while you're here, he scowls at you. Not no one. It's where people hunt monsters, and every few days I have to open it for reasons. What's it like to live in old Pagos? Pagos, or however you would say that with the alliteration over the A. He opens his mouth, giving you a puzzled look, then lets out a weak chuckle. What am I to say? We've got rocks. He taps the wall and make houses, bowls, tools. We sell them too. We grow oats and broad beans. Ibexes give us wool and skins for monks. What do you call it? The one you write on. He moves on when you mention parchment. Yeah. It's a good place, beautiful, old. Hill. Hill, that's what Piagos means. Old hill. When you bring up the monastery... Bonk. Let's see here. When you bring up the monastery, his eyes get brighter.
Good people. They came here on a mission teaching us the rights book. My grandparents were pagans, you know. But we now follow the river of truth. We keep to ourselves but help others when they need us. Shouldn't you look for a real shelter? He trembles his eyes. Someone has got to stay at the gate. The villages in the east don't know about the illness. They may try crossing the woods. Hit the closed gate while fleeing some wolves and stuff. He rubs his dirty neck. I also can't leave the gate open. It's like a dam for monsters. If all I can do is choose the way I die, this is it. With my duty fulfilled. You could at least spend some nighttime in one of the villages. He adjusts his jacket by shaking his shoulders, making the buckles jingle. I'm not a beggar, and the villages in the north won't help me for more than a day or two. I've got no dragon bones, just this little ibex. He pats his crossbow. Old Pagyo sits by itself. We don't look for kind folks. He thinks for a moment. I'll just wait and get back home since the plague's done. Once the plague's done, or before winter, you understand, I'm sure. Wardens are souls of duty. We are souls of duty. Duty indeed. All right, 1 second. Let's see here. Give me 1 quick second, chat. I gotta take a really quick break. Then I will be back. We will read more of this story, more of this legend, and we will enjoy it mightily. So I will be right back. I promise. I'll be real back. we've returned. We are trying to be streamers. Will we be successful is the question. Will we be the success? 6 rations. Okay, so we're going to travel elsewhere. That's that. So we go to the east of that. We can approach his village. You cross a clean, shallow, yet wide creek that runs south. Then follow the uphill path squeezed between the hills and the lush forest. You spend a good couple of minutes passing a haunting meadow filled with dozens, maybe 100 cut down trees, not overgrown by bushes and grass. You can't think of another time when you've seen a clearing of such a size. It seems dangerous. If this goes on, the animals will join forces to strike down whoever is responsible for this. How far they can push it. No. We're going the true path. Once the clearing ends and turns into a corridor of trees and hills, you stop your horse. There's a monster in the middle of the road, reaching out with its long arms to grab and devour fruits and leaves from the tree crowns, chewing them without haste. It's standing on its hind legs and leaning on a thick tail. As there isn't much hair on its gray skin, you see its impressive muscles. The beast is 3 times the size of a human, and while each move it makes is slow, its long claws and the ease with which it breaks one of the branches make you think that a single swing would be enough for it to pierce through your jacket, or, just as likely, that it would just simply break your bones and send you into the air. Like most people, you know quite a bit about peplars. Well, hello there, Zeno. Like most people, you know quite a bit about peplars. Once they get used to an unfenced farm or forest garden, getting rid of them can be a huge issue. There aren't many blades able to cut through their thick skin and bones, and a single mistake may put them into a furious charge, encouraging them to look for human dwellings which they can tear down in revenge. The beast doesn't give you as much as a glance, but also doesn't move away. The best you can hope for is that it's going to walk away on its own. Maybe tomorrow, maybe later. Facing it in a fight would end up badly. I returned to the crossroads. Two squirrels, one red and one blue squirrel, are standing on the top of 2 opposite signposts, screaming and throwing pebbles at each other. Then you get closer. They climb down swiftly and run toward a nearby tree. Oh. Well. Let's see. Do we try to go south and east? Let's go south and east and see what happens. Standing in front of the gate, you hear no voices, no tools at work, no steps. Dozens of birds live among the collapsed roofs. Their fluttering, singing, and squawkings is free of worries. If you want to travel further, you need to ride around the palisade, or it's the palisade, whatever you want to say. Searching the ruins may take a lot of time. You hear a river in the east separated by a lush meadow filled with crickets and rodents. There are many tree stumps around you, especially in the west, covered with moss and fungi. Stream's going pretty good, my friend. How about yourself? How are you doing? Oh, wait. Here we go. Boom. Gamer hours. I want to open the gate. No problem at all, man. You're awesome. You're dope. You're chill. We're all chill here. You should take a look at the other side to be sure if it's even possible. Especially since it may take a couple of hours without proper tools. I go somewhere else. Where do you want to go? Head to the river. You see a quenching family of boars, some of them brown, some black. You consider turning back, but they pay you little attention. After a couple of grunts, they run north. The river's not too wide, yet unusually deep, with banks altered by the locals for decades, if not centuries. The water is cold and clean, yet filled with long plants growing from the bottom. You would rather avoid jumping inside or drinking from it, but you're tempted to at least wash your face, neck, and hands. Dozens, if not hundreds, of small fish are looking for tasty leaves, but also try to avoid their predators. A dance of life completely unaware of your presence. You suddenly realize there's something else buried among the kelp, a rusty sickle sticking out of the ground, a couple of stone axes and hoes. The wooden handles and a large wagon are covered with moss, but you recognize their shapes. Why would someone drop them there? On the opposite bank of the meadow turns into a thick forest, impenetrable for a rider. I turn back. I inspect the clearing west. I consider washing myself in the river. I inspect the clearing west. The meadow is lush and colorful, and so dense it's unsafe for a rider. For a couple of minutes, you lead Chevalier with a rope, avoiding the potential disaster in case of a hoof falling into an animal den. Being forced to travel around the palisade every time you get here is going to be a pain. Most of the tree trunks look similar and have a comparable size. They were most likely planted with the sole purpose of being cut down and used by the locals. Though cutting so many trees at once, that could provoke the wrath of the herds. Such a process would be spread across a couple of seasons, and you can't be sure that was the case. In the west and north, the clearing turns into a wild forest. In the south, you see a path leading around the palisade. Sorry about the racket. I am enjoying a popsicle. One of those little push pops. It's delicious. I leave the clearing. I inspect the palisade in the west. The tracks of human footwear and many, many more ape footprints cover the path formed around the palisade's breach. As far as you can tell, the freshest footprints lead to the village. The wood stakes spread on the ground are rotten, covered in mushrooms, small flowers, insects, and worms. A good source of animal or goblin food, though you'd expect them to also hunt for the birds and eggs. The meadow in the west turns into a forest quickly. It's unpredictable. I explored the northwest part of the village. The colorful grass covers the entire fenced pasture. The large stone placed in the middle suggests that it could be a playground for ibexes, or maybe it's just an old garden. You see a couple of small sheds, a latrine, a single building to the south, completely burned down. All these places were cleaned out by scavengers. Chevalier doesn't want to approach the large ruins in the north. The terrible stench of feces and rotting food scares you off as well. The paths are covered with goblin footprints. It's daytime, so the pack should be asleep. If the beasts were active, they would try to scare you off or hunt down your mount. This is their territory, and once they wake up, you will face a furious enemy. Furious indeed. I go somewhere else. Quietly. I want to look around the northern gate. The paths there have almost been reclaimed by grasses. To your east and west, you see shadowy alleys behind damaged buildings, while the path south leads to a main square. Take a closer look at the gate. Pushed or pulled, it doesn't move an inch. Someone has spread dirt and rocks both underneath it and around it, seemingly to keep the planks stuck in the ground. I approach the nearby tree. You don't find anything worth picking. The half-dead quinces have maggots crawling under their skins. You wonder which part of the meal is more tempting for the dark-winged birds stirring amongst the branches, the flesh of the fruits or the worms. Quinces are rarely eaten without having a chance to blet. You can safely guess they weren't meant to be dried or add taste to cookies or hard drinks. After a few moments, you realize that the bottom part of the tree, just above the ground, is partially charred. Someone must have opposed a torch here. The wet wood didn't burst into flames. I look into the well. Don't need to have it sucking ASMR. It's filled up with soil and you find nothing interesting about the area around it. I go somewhere else. I go to the main square. In every village, the main square is the fanciest area, meant to charm the travelers, yet this is way more than you expected. The houses are as big as in Havloven, and the paved ground looks a lot of work, though the paved ground took a lot of work and materials. The walls, now charred and riddled with holes, are made of an expensive coated wattle. The tiles for the roofs had to be brought here from a different settlement. You peek inside the three smaller buildings, the rotting remains of their former splendor. The birds living in dozens of nests respond to your arrival with quite a commotion. You don't find even a single dragon bone, nor a tool, nor a piece of furniture left unbroken or rotten. You're surrounded by bad smells, dirt, animal droppings, and garbage. Sounds like a Tuesday. The well also stinks. It has no bucket, but you'd be afraid to use it anyway. Who knows how many birds have relieved themselves inside, or how many old rats have found their death while climbing up the walls. Suddenly, you hear some sounds coming from the largest building. You stop and touch your aching stomach. I should check it out. I prepare my axe. You step cautiously toward the scent of urine and sweat. The flickering candlelight shows you broken furniture, yet no signs of burnt wood. You consider pulling the outer door with a masculine voice provides you that your presence not unnoticed. I didn't want it to come to this. But stay where you are, wherever you put inside, be it a shoe, a hand, or you damn thinker, you'll get a bolt. Ah. Let's see. Let's do something playful. Ha ha ha. I'm a Roadwarden, so I need a thinker. Will a boot be enough? Aren't ye a funny one? How do I know a droll like ye is telling me the truth? Walk slowly, roadster, aye? If you're not an outlaw, you're safe. And even if you are, don't try anything funny. Leave your arms out. My little ballista here is all pulled and ready. The man's voice is imposing, and his accent is tricky for you. He could be from the distant south, but as long as you don't speak too quickly, you understand each other. You don't hear any other movements, breathing, voices. You lean your axe against the door frame and make sure that your knife is well hidden. I walk inside. The dense smell of urine hits you with full force, delicious. While the tools and utensils are hard to distinguish from the rubbish, the route to the upper floor is blocked by the collapsed roof and loose wooden beams. There are scraps of rusting iron and steel on the ground detached from now destroyed barrels. The scavenger is sitting on a blanket in front of the tent, pointing at you with a loaded crossbow. Not a short man, though a bit skinny. He's tanned, dark-haired, and has seen his share of struggles. There are long claw scars on his left cheek, and another one that would divide his eyebrow in half if it hadn't been consumed by a fire, just like the rest of his forehead. His clothes are untainted by vanity. He's barefoot in a dirty linen shirt with rolled-up sleeves and simple pants that use a cord for a belt. His long beard and hair are untrimmed and tangled. I sit on the stairs with raised hands. I'm not a threat. You wipe the dust off the steps a bit before you sit down. You hear the man's annoyed voice. Now don't get too homey. I'm going to stop doing the accents, I'm sorry. It's the only place here that's not just ashes and debris, and I'm not sharing it with you. Better right ahead. I already piled up whatever hasn't rotten. The candlelights are dancing on his burnt face and arms. He moves his crossbow just enough to make sure he won't shoot you by accident. Saw your horse. Maybe you could help me, What are you looking for in this place? You don't sound like you're from the north. I want to make sure there are no undead crawling around. You need to get to know the peninsula if I'm going to patrol it. I'm short on dragon bones. I wanted to see if there was anything left behind. I was wondering what caused this place to collapse. I'm looking for another Roadwarden, a man known as Asterion. That's not your problem. A man known as Asterion. I've never met him, but I surely heard his name many times. He vanished long before I got to the coast. At first people were asking about him, now they think he's dead. Listen, he scratches his thighs nervously. I'm hungry, so damn hungry. I can't hunt or fish with 8 men around. Can you share anything, Roadster? Maybe a drifter? I wouldn't beg if I hadn't lost my bags on the road. We'll give him this sausage. Give him 2 food rations. That's good. That's very nice. Ah, you say so. But you don't know my dearth. He bites into the sausage right away, but after a couple of solid bites, he puts your gifts on an unfolded tunic that's lying on the floor. Without you, I would have to run after birds with my ballista, but I need to save the bolts for the 8 men. And because of those stinkers, I can't roast here. The raw meat makes me want to puke, thank you. After a moment of hesitation, he grabs one of his plums. Now, Roadster, he says with a full mouth, if you have questions, ask and I'll say a lot to make you get me out of here. Very nice. I think this is a good place to stop the stream. And then, so that way we can enjoy these stories further later. I want to thank everybody who joined me on this journey. I appreciate it so much. And hopefully we can continue and keep enjoying it later. Everyone sleep well. Have a wonderful night.